people you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on yourself for not doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on other people who have done the thing isn't doing the thing.
Alright guys, well, welcome back. Today is the day that I no longer procrastinate on this project, and we go ahead and replace the major oil leak that I have on my 1989 Porsche 944. This thing is leaking a lot of oil from two spots. One, which is the major one, the cam housing up top here. The gasket is, well, who knows how old, but I do know is that it's leaking a lot. Second thing is the rear main seal in this car. That will not be in this video because that requires the clutch replacement, which is not something I am doing this second. So, with it being 10 degrees outside for the last 3 weeks and a ton of snow, and this car's just kind of been sitting here, now is the time to replace this. Let's go ahead and let's start taking this thing back apart. So yes, I have been procrastinating this project. I actually had the replacement gasket for months, but never got around to replacing it. And I know the leak isn't fixing itself. At this point, this isn't just about repairing the car, it's about discipline, ownership, and finishing what I start. Today, I stop negotiating with delay and start turning wrenches. Let me know in the comments below as well if you have a project that you procrastinated for a while. Now grab yourself a drink, some food, sit back and relax. Oh yeah, and if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, it helps a ton. I have plenty of more story-driven videos coming soon. Taking a closer look at the flywheel, where the starter sits, you can see the oil at the bottom of the housing
meaning that that rear main seal is failing.
So let's go ahead and remove coolant lines and then get the fans out of the way. Once those are out of the way, we'll go ahead and start to turn the engine manually and set its top dead center.
I have to say, yes, working on this car can and is frustrating at times, but it's also therapeutic in a way. It is challenging, but that's also what makes it fun. It forces you to adapt and problem solve as new issues arise. Perhaps it's the feeling of looking at a certain task that is also so daunting it becomes exciting. One thing the YouTuber Matt Armstrong recently said is that if it was put together by a man, it can be taken apart by man. And that resonates. No challenge is too hard. You just need the right tools for the right job and sometimes some good old ingenuity.
So we actually hit it on the first shot.
Right in that little area, tip of my finger, is a small marking on the flywheel with the letters TO. If you see that marking coinciding with the aligned cam gear TDC marking, then the engine is set at true top dead center, and you are ready to throw the flywheel lock in and remove the timing belt. And with the flywheel lock in, I am now removing the fuel rail, being careful to not spill too much gasoline all over the engine.
So we are moving along nicely. The timing belt is officially off. I'm just leaving it there dangling. Again, this is not the quote-unquote correct way to go about this. I'm not removing the balance shaft belt because, well, I don't have to, and I don't want to rebalance it. And now I know what you're saying, Frank. This looks like chaos. To which I say, I know. It's organized chaos. But I also know that there is one bolt in there that may or may not be stripped. And I don't know whose fault that is. It was probably a ghost. It's me. I'm the ghost. Oops.
So yeah, going into this project is a bit nerve-wracking because the last time I attempted it, which happened to be my first time, one single bolt felt like it was rounding off inside the cam tower. I ended up putting all the other bolts back in when I felt it, and deep down hoped I would never have to take it out. Obviously, as you can see from this YouTube video, my hope ran out, and we are now attempting to remove it. However, there is a saving grace, and that's that I bought a specific tool set to remove the cam housing bolts that are inside the cam tower itself. I bought a set of extended Torx bits in hopes it would grab the hex head better. And so here we go. This is the bolt that gave me issues the last time. I'm gently tapping the Torx bit in order to wake it up a little bit and hopefully not snap anything. I felt too much resistance, so I decided to give myself a little more leverage with an extension on my socket, and well, you can see how that played out.
Oh, guys, that felt really good. Oh my god, it's spinning. I see it. Gently pulling it. Oh my god, there it is. There it is, guys.
And so, with every bolt undone, we can finally remove the cam tower for the first time.
We did it. We did it, guys.
And I know to some, this may not be an incredible accomplishment, but to me as a hobbyist learning as I go, this is so exciting. And with the cam tower off, we can finally replace the old gasket. And as you see, the old gasket was in rough shape. Unfortunately also, when I took the cam tower off and inspected it, a new issue presented itself.
These cars have hydraulic lifters, which look just like this, and in the center of that is a small button, if you will, which should, in theory, be stiff to press.
But unfortunately, not one, but two of these buttons have gone soft, indicating the lifter no longer is holding adequate pressure. This means I have to order 2 new lifters.
And while that may sound like an inconvenience, honestly, I'm just going to take this time to enjoy the car, and I'm going to just take care of it. I have now began to see and realize actually how much I enjoy it. And during the process, sure, I may curse a lot and hit my hands on things and cut my hands open and everything like that. But at the end of the day, I think it's all worth it. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and continue the cleanup of this old gasket. We're going to then drain the oil out, take the oil filter off, and pretty much just deep clean the rest of this thing while we wait for those lifters.
And so, with countless hours and enough plastic razor blades to last a lifetime, I spent the next week slowly but surely cleaning the surface up. And yes, work like this may be tedious, but at the same time, it's so rewarding. Let this be a reminder to all of you out there to pursue those hobbies you have. We're only on this floating rock for so long, so make the most of it while you're here. And after cleaning all the surfaces, my lifters came in, so it's time to install them and finally put this car back together. We now have everything torqued down to spec. It's time to put everything back together, add fresh fluids, and finally turn that key to see if we successfully completed this job. So let's turn the key and see what happens. Now I'm expecting a loud, clanky startup due to the lack of oil at the cam, but after a few seconds,
Well, here we have it. The 944 up and running in time and sounds great. With some new lifters in there, we're just burning off a lot of oil that's been sitting on those headers, so it's gonna get a little smoky for a bit.
and just like that, we successfully completed this job and have a very happy and healthy 944 engine.
And so guys, with that being said, that marks the end of this video and the end of this story. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I did. This was a lot of work, but I am glad I got to do it, and you know, just another sense of accomplishment when you're able to do stuff like this. So that being said, guys, my name is Frank. This is my life of cars, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.
We're in the groove.